Time is running out for crypto investors to make those life-changing gains because we're only 9 days away from the Bitcoin halving cycle countdown, and ultimately this is where the real bull season actually starts to take place. Looking at the low time frames on Bitcoin, our plan has come to fruition exactly as planned, which was a tag of the CME gap coming into the 200 exponential moving average and the bounce from that level, looking for a sweep of the range high. So on today's show, we'll assess what could be coming next for Bitcoin. We're also tied in with some of the meme coins, some of the altcoin sectors, and one brand new project which I just found, which is still at a very, very low market cap. So stay tuned until the very end of the show. Smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel. And let's get into it, starting off over here with the Banter Bubbles charts. Looking at the hourly over here, let's quickly see most of the coins are still pulling back over there, still red on the hourly. On the daily, most of them holding up those gains. What about the weekly? Also holding up those gains. So all in all, that is looking good. Currently, I have my airdrop counter, which is running towards the upside. So for those of you who are participating in the Get Your Gummy incentive, which is coming up, remember, by using the Banter Bubbles chart over here, you will get access to the airdrop based on how many points you have over there. And then also a reminder, you can guess the price of what Bitcoin will be, which is only coming up in a couple of days' time. By the 15th of May, what will the price of one Bitcoin cost? The closest guess will win themselves one full Bitcoin. But in order to participate in that, you need to use the links in the description below. So scroll through to the below section over here, and you will see, let's just have a look. Is it over here? Guess the price of the Bitcoin. We just need to put that in, please, Hardest. It's not in here. You need to sign up to those links, and that will qualify you, which is going to be Bybit, Bitget, OKX, Evo, BingX, or CoinW, and you can participate in that competition. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue on over here. So yesterday, Bitcoin was struggling to crack through that $73,000 level, which was, of course, the level that we marked out over here as a significant zone, right? You can see over there, we said 73K is going to be the range high, and it is going to prove to add a little bit of resistance to the market. And a big reason for that, now that we have the ETF flows, we can see why it struggled. There was massive outflows due to GBTC, which were of course selling, and consequently we had a negative day on the ETF flows. All in all, it's been mostly positive and uptrending with very, very heavy inflows, but some of the days we are going to get big spikes towards the downside, and that is suppressing price. But where are we within the cycle? Have we topped out? Some people are talking about, the left translated cycle. I know that Run believes in the left translated cycle, that this cycle we're going to top much sooner than the prior cycles. From my perspective, I think let's take it level to level. Personally, if you want my personal opinion, I don't necessarily think this will be a left translated cycle. I think at some point we'll get a major pullback. It could even be now over the course of consolidation. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin has to drop to $30,000 or anything, but we could range between about $50,000 and $80,000 for a prolonged period of time, maybe lasting another 3 months, and then start to reaccumulate and go for higher prices, and the run will still last for the next 12 months. But either way, it doesn't matter which way you slice it, whether it is 12 months from now or left translated, meaning much shorter than that, time is running out, and you want to be adequately prepared in the sense of your portfolio. Where are you allocating your funds to? Do you even have a crypto portfolio? You need to think about these things, because people are making life-changing money each and every single week, but only those that are immersed in the space and truly understand where the liquidity is flowing. So keep that in mind. Now, if you look over here at Stock Money Lizards, looking at the RSI update, he's showing here it's not quite yet the peak, right? Typically, the peak has come on the monthly scale for the RSI when price gravitates up towards this top region over here, and the RSI reaches between 90 and 100, and then you'll start to see the moving average, which is the red one, following along and really reaching into that deep 80 zone. When the moving average gets into that 80 zone and the actual RSI is in the 90 to 100 zone, usually high time frame, that's where your major tops come into play. We could also look at things like the Pi cycle top indicator, which has not yet signaled any form of a major top signal yet. Also, you have a lot of Bitcoin going off of exchanges, so the potential for supply shock taking place. This is the Bitcoin balance on exchanges constantly declining, with now only 1.74 million Bitcoin left on exchanges, which is crazy. You also have over here the hash ribbons indicator, which is showing the miners, right? The hash ribbons or the hash rate for the Bitcoin mining continues to increase, right? So that's that strong network effect. Continued mining over there, and that's sending price higher and higher. We're coming into the pink line now, which is of course the halving, and this has ultimately been the strong range. So you have to ask yourself the question, are we going to break out and hold above this level right now, which is a very crucial level? You can see the way that a cap price in the prior cycle as a key range level, or are we going to come back down and break into that range? And this would be that early post-halving dump or pre-halving dump where you reaccumulate to set in a major high low, right? You can see big low over there, major high low. Could we be getting another one? If so, as mentioned, you could still range, right? That just could be a massive range between $50,000 and $80,000, which allows for reaccumulation and for Bitcoin to go higher up. For now, we also have the MVRV-Z score, which is in alignment with what we saw on that monthly RSI take, which suggests that let's just quickly clean this up over here, which suggests that ultimately your reaccumulation happens in the green zone near the bottom. You can see every cycle it's marked the exact bottom, and all the major tops have been met by the MVRV-Z score spiking into the top side over here. And this simply just shows you how many standard deviations away the market value will differ from the realized value or the realized price of Bitcoin. Okay. Also, looking at Willy Woo's post over here, you can see that the stock to flow model is playing out in accordance with what we've looked at for a long period of time. Now, simply what this means is that Bitcoin becomes harder and harder to get your hands on, and harder for miners to create as time passes by, right? So we have 10 days to the halving. Bitcoin's annual supply growth has dropped from 1.7 to 0.85, right? Beating gold's number, which is at 1.6%, right? So gold supply doubles every 44 years, meaning they're finding new ways to create, or not to create, but to mine more and more gold out of the system. With Bitcoin, this is a mathematical impossibility. Even with quantum computers, it's unlikely that they're going to be able to crack this algorithm in the way that it currently works, in the sense that it becomes harder and harder to get more and more Bitcoin. So what does that mean? That means if you measure Bitcoin against gold, which is the better bet, well, gold's trading at its all-time high right now, price, which is $2,359 for gold, but its price is approaching new lows, right, against Bitcoin. So there it is, measuring it against Bitcoin, the trend is down, meaning you're better off holding Bitcoin. So that's a little bit of your high time frame analysis. Now, tying this in with the low time frames, looking at the daily time frame and lower, where are we currently at for both Bitcoin and Ethereum? Well, we can use the Ichimoku cloud over here, which is a great trend trading tool, and you can see that we've been basing off the top side of the Bitcoin Ichimoku cloud on the daily time frame, and then more importantly, using the average directional index over here, you can see it starting to turn back up. The DI positive, the directional index for the bulls, the green line, has crossed back above the red line over here. The red line's coming down, blue is going up. Simply put, what this means is we have a potential for a major local bottom over here to have been formed. And as you see this trend towards the upside, you can expect that there's a possibility that prices will continue to trend up as well, meaning that maybe we're nearing in the low time frame the end of this consolidation period. And it looks similar on Ethereum. If you look at Ethereum recently had a pretty big move against Bitcoin. The ETH BTC chart has ticked back up, and it's the same thing, right? Very recently, we can see over here that the ADX has just started to turn back up. The DI positive has crossed above the ADX as well as above the DI negative, and that's all a healthy sign for the bull for the bulls, showing that they are gaining back some control, but it's not over yet, right? We need to see a little bit more. I'll go on the lower time frames and show you what that would look like. Now, this is something very interesting that I found. Nobody's ever put their take on this, at least from what I've seen on crypto Twitter, other than this Benny and the Sats. Pretty small account over there, but very, very good point that he made. And it's all around the tax season, which just so happens to line up exactly with the Bitcoin halving date. And he says over here, Bitcoin's price didn't really start ripping until 2017, immediately following the tax day. Why is this? Well, some people get large refunds to buy in with. So they view it as, free capital. This is tax returns, right? When they're getting money back from the government, they're like, oh, cool, I wasn't expecting that money. May as well put it into crypto. So that's one reason. And other people are just holding off on buying until realizing what their tax payment actually will look like. So price back then was $1,235 on tax day, and then it ripped all the way up to $20,000 in December, right? So very, very interesting point over here, something to look at. And this April, of course, as mentioned, we're having the halving cycle and the tax day all in the same week alongside the ETF flows, which have also been a very, very unique point to look at. So here's our picture. Remember, we have two scenarios over here which could take place. Both result in bullish. One is just bullish a little bit later on. The first outcome is that pretty much Bitcoin just consolidates over here and then starts to expand higher, defending that $69,000 level and flipping it into support. Now, if this plays out, that would be one example of potentially a left translated cycle, meaning that this cycle tops out a lot sooner than everyone expected. The alternative is that you create a handle over here from a chart pattern perspective. This would just be one massive cup and handle formation, which ultimately leads to higher prices, but first consolidates towards the downside, allowing those moving averages to flatten out a little bit, creating new bases of support, and that would either way still be very, very healthy for the long run. So that's what we've been looking at over there. Yesterday, this was the key level. We said that bulls needed to get price above $71,399 and close over there, and that's what we got, right? We got over there. We are pulling back now, so I'm going to go over the levels and what's important and what may be taking place. We'll cover the potential trap scenarios as well, but ultimately this is what we're seeing right now, right? If we move on to looking at simply just a line chart over there, now, it's very, very marginal, but this is a break of structure on the daily time frame in relation to the left-hand side over there. That was your last lower high. So here was your high, lower high, and now you have officially created a higher high, which means that any pullbacks that come from this point onwards, that's set in a higher low. Where's your high low going to come into place? Well, of course, you have one low, higher low, high low, so anywhere around there is going to be technically a buying opportunity. We'll go over the trap scenarios, the bull trap scenarios as well, because this is in the realm of possibility. I spoke with the live members yesterday on Whale Room, and we spoke about thinking about the market like a chess player would, right? A chess player always thinks multiple moves ahead and considers what is the next thing their opponent may do to try and beat them at the game. Think about that as well when you're looking at the markets. And one area of interest that I'm looking at is this, right? Well, firstly, we have another bear moon which is printed. Since it's eclipse season, I thought, why not bring up the moons again? They've worked very, very, very well. Very, very easy to understand, right? When it's at the bottom, it's a bull moon, price goes up. When it's at the top, it's a bear moon, and price in an uptrend would either consolidate or pull back, setting in a high low. And this is where we started to get a real shift in the market, right? A change of character within the market, moving from a strong uptrend into consolidation. And during those consolidations, you also have to ask yourself, are we in accumulation or are we in distribution? So what does this mean over here? Bear moon, price comes down. Bull moon, price goes up. Bear moon, looking at that consolidation to continue. So hopefully that sets into a higher low, but it is a possibility that you get a deeper pullback. So that's one thing that I'm looking at, right? The other thing is over here, you want to focus on what happened with yesterday's candle, the big move that we had towards the upside. If we start to close this daily candle below yesterday's low, well, that would start to look like a trap scenario, right? Because in this instance, you would have a bearish engulfing candle, fully engulfing the prior candle's body and closing below those key moving averages, that being the 9 and the 18 exponential moving average, the 9 and the 18 exponential moving average. If you do that, ultimately that will probably instill a little bit of fear and panic within the market, and you might go a lot lower. Then you need to reevaluate what happens from that point onwards. But as it currently stands right now, as you watch the show, we are above the pivot level. We're above the 200 EMA on the 1 hour, and we're above the 200 EMA on the 4-hour time frame. So technically, you don't need to be too fearful yet. But there are some key things that are coming up, right? Looking at the halving cycle, we know historically, just before, just after, we do get a significant drawdown in price. And maybe this is one reason that 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗏, one of the legendary traders out there and market makers, may have sold out of his GMX position. Maybe he's foreseeing much lower prices. It says over here, 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗏 predicts that the Bitcoin prices will plummet before and after the halving. The US dollar liquidity will be tighter than usual at the time, which will add impetus to the crazy selling of crypto assets. However, after May the 1st, the quantitative tightening rhythm will slow down and return to the regular rhythm of US inflation. So, what does that mean for you at home? It means that it becomes a buy the dip scenario. This is probably going to be a buy the dip scenario if we do come lower. We spoke about it yesterday on the show. We said that based on what 𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗡𝗪 also tweeted about, one of your worst case scenarios is about a $58,000 downside target, and your upside is uncapped, right? It could be 100K, 150K, 250K. The point is risk to reward. It's not really worth selling out of all your positions if you've been holding for more than a year. If you recently got in, well, you're taking on a new level of risk, and you probably have to reconsider things a little bit differently to what the rest of us who have been in for a long time are doing. For the rest of us, if we have a cash position which is set aside, which I do, about 40% of my portfolio is in cash, this will become a dip buying opportunity. If prices pull back, I will buy the dip. And if they don't look like they're going to pull back aggressively, well, I'll just start to dollar cost average into the market at a much quicker rate, looking to be fully allocated probably come the end of May. So that gives me about 2 months, 6 weeks to allocate aggressively into the market with that other 40%. So if you appreciate that analysis, guys, smash the like button. Really need to help to get the likes up in the show. It really helps to get the show content out there so people don't get wrecked. We know that retail, typically, they unfortunately only come into the exact pinnacle top of the market. So if you have a friend who wants to get into crypto, share these videos with them as well. And then let's continue. Let's look at the lower timeframes of here. So in alignment with everything I've just shown you, right? The potential for a trap scenario, the potential with the bear moon, and if we do some sort of a bearish engulfing candle, well, that would look like a deviation. I do still think that we'll have one more spike up, even if that were to take place. This is what you would see. You'd see something like this, right? A big push up off of this region, and ultimately then it would fail that level, gain acceptance below, and that would start to become a I don't want to say a short trade because I don't really like to short in a bull market, but theoretically, in terms of proportionality of the chart, stop loss would go there, TP1 would be over here, TP2 would be over here, and then TP3 would be down at about $52,000. That would then become the trade opportunity. Why do we say that? Well, you've hit into the 200 EMA once, twice, 3 times. You spent a lot of time over here on the 3rd time, and it's starting to flatten out, right? The chart and the EMAs are starting to flatten out, which means a 4th time is unlikely to hold. It probably means you're going to break that level. So pay attention, think like a chess player, plan out your moves, and there's a key reason why you want to do this. It's because you want to be proactive in the market and not reactive. If this information weren't shared with you and you didn't know what could potentially be coming and price ended up going up and you thought, oh my word, it's breaking out, we're going to 80K, and ultimately it rolled over, what are you going to do? You're going to become reactive to the market. You're not going to know what to do, and you're going to get wrecked on that type of move towards the downside, and you'll probably panic sell everything at 52K, which is actually where you would have a very, very good buy the dip opportunity. So That's the reason why I cover these different scenarios in trading. Let's move on over here. Now, of course, yesterday we had a big spike up in the open interest. So Martoon over here says it well, and he's looking at on Coinalyze, the open interest picking up towards the upside every time we get to that region with about over $1.3 billion in new open interest. It gets flushed, right? And that flush has basically been taking place. You can see that's a quick flush of that new open interest towards the downside. Now, if Bitcoin does manage to hold up above this level as per the green path over here, let's make it nice and big. If it does this, 1 second, we got the wrong one there. Let's fix that up. Let's grab this over here. So if Bitcoin follows this trajectory, which is what we all hope for, right? We'd like to see it break and hold above 73, gain acceptance there, and then have expansion higher towards the $80,000 level. If that does happen and you want higher beta plays that are not meme coins, you're sick of meme coins, you don't want to hear anything more about meme coins. Unfortunately, you'll hear a little bit, but I always reserve it for the end of the show in case you want to leave. Then you don't need to be there for that part. So if you want still high beta plays, things that are going to move quicker than Bitcoin to the upside, then 𝗕𝗓𝗧 has a list over here. I think these are great. Looking at Bitcoin DeFi and BRC20s, you got Stacks, Audi, 1000 Sat, Mubi, Lever, Track, and ORNJ. These are some of the opportunities to look at, right? I'm not going to dive too heavily into these. If we start to reclaim and hold 73,000, we can do some more in-depth charting and analysis on these coins, but put those onto your watch list. That's what I would say. If it does keep ripping, as he says, these will rip next. So put that onto your watch list. So all the long trades continue to remain open over here. We have 15 out of 15 trades in the profit. So all of these are winning trades. Why are they winning trades? Was it just every single trade I took was a winning trade? No. Guys, this is what professional trading is. Let your winners run and cut your losers. All the losers have been completely cut and we're letting the winners run. So those are trades on Bybit. We continue to hold those. Bitget, we have some spot positions open over here. Let's just quickly go to the spot positions. So these are some of the spot trades that we've taken in Whale Room. We continue to hold these positions. This is for the rest of the cycle, right? We can hold these for the long run. So again, guys, if you want to participate in the Winner Bitcoin competition, Hardest, do you have that in there by any chance? Okay, we need the Winner Bitcoin competition stuff. Can you just message someone to put that in? You'll see it in the link below, probably after the show. Please participate in that. It's the easiest way to stack the odds against you. Why, right? Because with a lotto ticket, what are you going to do? It's you against 300 million other people, and you have to have the right sequence of numbers. Over here, all you need to do is guess the price of what you think Bitcoin will be on the 15th of May, which we are only a couple of days from. You can use your TA, your technical analysis, and each one of these exchanges will be an entry into that competition. Here you can see the guy's predicting 75. This guy's got 96. So he thinks in the next 5 days, we are going to move up to $96,000. This one, 105. You see, guys, I don't know. These are risky bets. If it was me, I'd probably be guessing. I'd run a series of bets over here. I would go with, where would my guesses be? I'm going to go with, by the 15th of May, I'm going to go with $77,801. That's going to be my one guess. And then I'd run a lower target as well at 56,000, because you can enter multiple times, right? 56,000 would be the other target that I would put into place. So participate in that competition, and let's go on here. Okay, the stock market, we want that to be our friend as well. If the stock market comes down, crypto is also going to come down. Let's see if that whole tax season theory ends up pumping the stock market as well. If so, cryptos will move alongside the stock market. For here, we do still have a series of high highs and high lows, but similar to Bitcoin, you can see that momentum towards the upside is starting to slow down. Okay, sorry, you guys corrected me over there. 15th of May, not April. True, that is true. 15th of May. Sorry, I don't know why I thought it was a few days away, so you have a little bit more time. Okay, so we have over here a little bit of a range forming. You can trade the stock market as well. By the way, if you guys want to participate and trade the stock market, we do that from time to time. This would be, for example, a buy the dip opportunity over here. As long as it holds that range level at 5,162, you can continue to target the 1.618 fib extension, which we set in October. So that gives the stock market a further upside potential of 5.36% upside potential over there, which for crypto should result in at least double digits for Bitcoin, potentially even triple digits for some of the altcoins. So if you want to trade the stock market, Prime XBT are offering you up to $7,000 in sign-up bonuses. Or you can take the discount, 25% discount on all commissions. Use the link in the description below, and we'll be trading that as well in Whale Room. You're going to start to see a lot more of the metals trades happening over there, since given the environment that we're in within the market, you have things like gold ripping to new all-time highs, giving a lot of volatility and opportunity. Okay, Total 3, same place, consolidating. You guys know the plan over there. There was a big shift yesterday on ETH, right? If you look over here, Ethereum sentiment was at rock bottom last week. ETH holders started to capitulate, right? Potentially at the lows. Too soon to say if that was the ultimate lows, but potentially the ETH discount to net asset value, that's on Grayscale, right, hit negative 26%, which was the lowest that we've seen in a very, very long time since the bear market bottom around June, July of 2023, right? Today, it went up 16%. So ETH went up 7% in ETH USD price action. And ultimately, this is what it looks like, right? Here's the chart. So these were the different scenarios that we had mapped out on the ETH BTC chart. We said that, well, this was the lows, bearish below that level, cautiously, very, very, very cautiously bullish above that level. You need to see this line hold, right? This line being 0.050. So we had the move up. I would expect that this is going to come back down, right? Something like that. Probably chops around. Then you can see this will give you the full confirmation that bulls have control if you can get above the 0.055 level. So this zone over here, let's grab the highlighter. This area on the ETH BTC chart is all very cautiously bullish, right? Cautiously bullish in this zone over here. And underneath that is bearish, right? It means that probably expansion and continuation towards the downside. Your ETH USD pair is still holding up. Here it is. You have higher lows, and we're still waiting for higher highs. We recently broke those previous lower highs that we had. So let's see if we can get continuation, defend and hold above 3,500, and that can lead to expansion on ETH USD with $4,870 as the next major target. Okay. Here's another viewpoint looking at the ETH BTC chart on a weekly scale. You can see the pent up liquidity, right? When you have a rounded angle like this, usually when this breaks, that's where things start to move. So expect that there is a possibility for something like that to take place soon. Okay, continuing. Solana's congestion, right? I know it's bothering a lot of people out there. If you look, it's still going on. Data showed that over 75% of non-vote Solana transactions failed. That was on April the 4th. That was the worst day that we had. And that's because of the recent meme coin mania, which has occurred on the network. But if you look over here, the figure has since fallen from 75% down to 64.8%. That's not a celebration. Still pretty bad. Just giving you a little bit of an outlook over here. The developers say by the 15th of April is when they'll have this problem fixed. So for those of you out there, if you are wondering what's going on here with your transactions, usually you need to try about 4 or 5 times before the transaction actually goes through. So what does that mean for Solana's chart? Well, this, right? Again, we played level to level. This is going to be a very, very significant zone for Solana. We want to see if Solana is able to defend this level. You might see something like that, right? If you do see something like that, it could be a buying opportunity, but only if it moves all the way back to the top side of the range, has a little bit of a pullback, holds mid-range, and then it can start to break out. So if Bitcoin pulls back into the halving cycle, pay attention to this level, $160 on Solana. A loss of that level means you're probably going down to about 125. Okay. We'll get into the altcoin requests in a moment. I always try to bring you guys something new on the show. So something different that I found over here is 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓. Here you go, 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓 with a Z. Ultimately, this is the chart, 12.35 million. Now, the reason that I'm bringing this to you is you guys have all seen the hype around the meme coins. This is not a meme coin, by the way. This is more a SocialFi type of play, which we spoke about yesterday, is going to be an upcoming narrative. We've seen big names and influencers like 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗧 also predicting the rise of SocialFi. So how does this work and what exactly is it? Firstly, let's look at the chart. This is your level to buy, right? If it comes down into the last couple of digits between 2416 and 3120, that's 0.0024. So if it comes into this region, this is going to be a strong horizontal level. Now, not that many people know that you can actually buy this token. There's benefits. It's not just a buy and hold like the usual meme coins. You can actually stake this token and you'll get rewarded for doing so. You get rewarded in the form of different airdrops. They have an airdrop that's coming up. I'll show you what it is. But how does it work? Okay, in light of the recent meme coin mania, there's a lot of botted accounts with fake Twitter profiles, fake telegrams, and they have fake chats, fake engagement. None of it is real, right? So it creates hype and makes it look like there's a lot of holders of the token and makes it look like there's a lot of interaction, but it's not real, and consequently it's vaporware, and the projects end up rugging and go to zero. So this is something that helps market participants engage. If you look over here at their Twitter, they have 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓 Season 2 airdrop happening now. How does it work? And you don't have to do this, by the way. You don't have to buy the token, but one way that you can make money here is you buy the 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓 token, which is a low market cap. So naturally, as it gains momentum in the SocialFi narrative coming up, it should appreciate in price. Then you can stake it at stake.chaps.com, and then you can sign up and start using their app, which is over here, right? So if you look at it, incredible website, probably one of the best that I've seen. It looks, it reminds me of Apple's website. So here's all their various different partners, got quite big backing over here. But ultimately, this is where you can do two different things, right? So you can start earning by ultimately staking. You can stake and earn, or you can chat and earn. So they're helping to filter out the noise. If you find projects on their platform that you like, and you naturally were anyway going to engage with those projects, go to chat and earn, see if the project's listed, and interact with it over there. Complete different SocialFi tasks, and you'll get rewarded in the form of an airdrop. So something new to keep an eye on. Now let's continue on over here. Okay, the meme coin mania really is crazier than any other cycle that he's played in. He says over here, as per Beanie, which says a lot as he went through all the different cycles, the ICO token cycle. I also went through that in 2017, DeFi summer, and the NFT insanity a few years ago. But this is the next level, as you don't even need a lot of capital to literally make millions overnight. So time is running out, right? This phase will eventually end. So be careful, right? Be careful out there, guys. If you are participating in the meme coins, understand that it's never going to last forever, but it could still last for quite a while. And you can make enormous gains. And even big names like 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓, who of course created 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓𝗓, co-founder and architect of 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓, as he says over there, is starting to bite on this narrative. Even he is saying, because some of you may think it's too late, right? You may think that you've completely missed the run, and it is getting late into this part of the cycle, but it's not too late. He says safer community or meme coins on 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓. And he's got a whole proposal over here. Anyone wishing to launch a community or meme coin for their idea can contact me directly via Telegram or Twitter. Provide the idea, graphics, name, ticker, and concept. And then he says, I'll not be assisting any meme that are considered to be offensive, or that he's probably talking about those racial ones. Up to 10% of tokens can be allocated for marketing related expenses. And he says this will be locked in a multi-sig requiring signatures from 2 project members and at least 1 foundation member. And he goes on to explain what these projects would need to do, and pretty much how he would be willing to build this onto their chain, which is quite a revelation, right? So liquidity must be removed, which is something that you want to see with these meme coins, and the token has access control. So start looking at Phantom, right? If you have the founder of Phantom starting to promote meme coins, it might be an idea to start to look at some of those. So meme coins on Solana versus meme coins on Phantom versus meme coins on Base. Well, I think at the moment, probably one of the top meme coins to be looking at, which is still a relatively low market cap, is of course going to be 𝗂𝗧. You can see over here, we've spoken about it a whole lot and it continues to move. So let's quickly pull up the chart over here. Let's just see. And then I'll get into your altcoin requests straight after this. So here's 𝗂𝗧 currently moving into that price discovery phase. Look at that chart. Absolutely beautiful. Currently on this move over here, I'm targeting the 1.618, but oftentimes on these meme coins, it will extend beyond the 1.618, potentially even to as high as the 3.618, which ultimately means price appreciation from current levels is another 138%. So today alone, you could see this potentially double. Currently, they're only sitting at 3,900, so 3,900 holders over there of this. There's more than 50,000 people who watch these shows every day. And we gave this token to Whale Room community members at $800,000 market cap, meaning that they've done over a 25x return already. For the shows, I mentioned it because I dropped that over the weekend. So I mentioned it to you guys, I think on the Monday, you would have had the opportunity to get in at about $3 million market cap, meaning that you're closing in on a 10x return. Now, the craziest thing is I know that they did an OTC for a bunch of influencers, and most of you in Whale Room and on the show got in even before the market cap that the OTC was offered at. So consider that. Consider that. Here is ultimately some of the creations, right? This is what I'm talking about by they're very memeable and they're always going to be on point with whatever the hottest narrative is of the time. Yesterday, we know it was the eclipse, and you can have a look at their video over here.
The 2024 solar eclipse is making headlines everywhere, from Airbnbs being sold out to cities along the path declaring state of emergency to conspiracy theories and rumor it is shaping up to be a very hot topic. One of our team members is out in the field capturing footage of eclipse enthusiasts to share the experience live.
What is that?
So there it is. The ticker is 𝗂𝗧. The ticker is 𝗂𝗧. This coin seems to be pumping. I think it's just going to continue to go because they can be so relevant within this market and continue to create, market-related videos, whether it's crypto or whether it's something big that's just happening ordinarily on the likes of Fox News, CNN, etc., etc. Imagine when it starts to come. This is, guys, you have to think far ahead when it comes to these meme coins. Imagine when it comes into the election period, the amount of videos that actual 𝗂𝗧 is going to make, and then imagine what 𝗂𝗧 is going to do, right? You need to think like this. Think like this. They're going to continue to do a lot of things. They're going to become very, very relevant, in my opinion, leading into the second half of this year, right around the election period. And I think he's going to do a lot of political interviews, and that's probably going to send price higher and higher. If they get exchange listing, who knows? Maybe this thing can get to $200 million market cap, which is still another 10x from here. Maybe it can go even beyond that. I don't know. I'm taking a one step at a time. For now, we in from all the way down here. I'll show you the exact entry that the Whale Room members got in at. This was where Whale Room got the call down here in the highlighted spot. You can see over there. That was it. That was where we gave the call. Price is up significantly, so I have no reason to take any profits or sell. I'm just going to continue to hold this position over here. So the ticker is 𝗂𝗧, and it's looking good. and a good stress test that you can use in the meme coins, because meme coins are serious money, guys. We're making literally millions of dollars on meme coins. We have to talk about on the show. I know that for some of the OGs in the space, this may not be the most popular thing to speak about. It kind of discredits, all the high-tech products that have been put out there in terms of crypto and all the problems that are being solved. I get it. I totally understand. But at the end of the day, we're not here for the tech as much as it says we're in it for the tech. We're not in it for the tech. We're only in it for the tech if we're down 90% as an investor. Otherwise, we're in it to make money, and this is where the money is being made, right? So a good stress test to look at when you are trading a meme coin is for their first 70 to 80% sell-off, which always comes. After the initial run-up, you get a 70 to 80% sell-off, sometimes even 99. Then does the community of holders start panicking? If so, then you're in trouble. Or if they just continue memeing along as if price hasn't changed, then you're probably in a good spot. So a lot of the ones that we've given, they probably have, I would say, failed. Some of them haven't done anything. Like, let's say Alibaba, nothing's really happened over there. Let's go through the list. 𝗓𝗓, obviously a great one. Pumping, Kim Jong-un, that one's done okay. It hasn't done too bad. I can click on the chart over here. So it's still very low market cap. I would say the guys are still memeing along. There you go. You can see price appreciates it after the first dump. Okay. Apple, not so much has happened over there. Amazon, not so much. Tesla, I think where Dogecoin really starts to move, this could still be a decent one. We have, 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗏 community still seems to be there, but this is only going to last as long as the Mike Tyson fight against Jake Paul. BlackRock, you can see there is still a community over there. Almost 7,000 holders, pretty significant. That one's a great one. There's still a community. They haven't died off. They continue in the comment section. I can see it right now. 𝗪𝗓𝗡𝗪, they continue to make their content. We have Bink, which is Bonk's sister. Also, quite a lot of holders, 7.7 thousand. I haven't seen too much memeable content, but we'll see as the market cycle persists. All of these are continue to hold, by the way. All of these we're holding. So I think that's enough on the meme coins. Let's continue. Let's go into some of the altcoin requests. So let's quickly go through some of the altcoin requests. What do we have? Chainlink. Okay, so there's a lot of tokens over here that some will provide very easy, I would say, 5x's, right? Chainlink is one of them. Chainlink to $100 this cycle, I think, is very, very, very likely, right? So if you get a buy the dip opportunity on Chainlink, this was always the move, right? This was the initial trade, and people thought I was crazy for TPing out of this trade over here. But you can see now the momentum is starting to slow down. So you need to watch this chart very, very carefully, because if Chainlink does start to break below $16.60, you probably are going to move all the way back down to about $12, at which point we can reload on our Chainlink position. And then you can consider about $100 as the target, in my personal opinion, for Chainlink. Let's look at some of the other layer ones just super quick. 𝗧𝗓𝗓, 𝗬𝗢𝗓 still holding the uptrend. Say breaking its upsloping trend line. We've looked at Solana. NEAR, we said this is where we need to be super careful, right? We don't want to see NEAR roll over. If NEAR rolls over here, we may need to consider closing out our leverage long position, which is currently up $20,000 in profit. Okay, Matic, also key level needs to break and hold above $1.05. Casper, also, it needs time, right? Some of these need time after the big moves that they've had. I would like to see this hold as a higher low, but I mean, it almost seems too easy, right? Lows, high low, high low. Is it really going to be that easy, or is it going to bounce up and roll over? Only time will tell. Here's AVAX. AVAX probably coming back down to the upsloping trend line at about $41 over there. Injective. Also, watch for a deeper sweep into this $28 to $30 zone. Okay, DOT, perfect bounce off of the upsloping trend line. Also the prior range high, which had flipped into support now. So you want to see DOT starting to move very, very soon. Cake, Atom, Aptos. I'm just going to scroll through these very, very quickly. Okay, Aletheum, been doing pretty well recently, but now starting to push towards that range high. Would I be a buyer of Aletheum over here? Probably not. I'd wait to see what happens at the range high. Risk to reward, it's probably just not worth it buying into that zone. Okay, Cardano having a tough time breaking its upsloping trend line down, creating lower lows and lower highs. More than likely, it's coming down into the zone over here at about 45 cents. Also, Cardano recently on CoinGecko just got flipped, right? So if we go to CoinGecko, top 10, there we go. Toncoin has, which is the Telegram coin, has officially flipped Cardano, sending it out of the top 10. So psychologically, that might be something significant for the Cardano holders. Okay, Phantom. Okay, Phantom doing okay. This is really the level. Just watch that level, 70 cents, a must hold. Layer 2s, Stacks, looking decent. Optimism. Made a new swing low, needs time. I wouldn't buy it over here. Okay, Metis is not looking too bad, but it's not clean enough, right? I want to see, it's a question of, is this in a parallel channel? Is it starting to create an upsloping channel over here? Or is it going to come down into this zone? So let's see if this level holds. If it sets in a lower high, it's probably going to break down and come into that $70 zone. $70 is the next zone. Arbitrum. Also, like Optimism, new swing low, not looking too good, needs time to develop that chart. Okay, what else? What else do we have? Guys, someone messaged me yesterday on X, again, hacked, guys. They lost pretty, they have like $200 left, asking if I can give them the next meme coin trade that I get in, but early so that they can make all their money back. Please be very, very careful. Remember, we do have a partnership with NordVPN, which is for the Banter community, giving them a 67% discount. It works out to 9 cents a day. Literally, just protect yourself for 9 cents a day. If you're in America or Europe, you can use Incogni. We don't have this where I'm from, but you can use this. They'll remove your data from all of these call centers and data centers, which are ultimately scamming you or giving your information to the scammers who are then scamming you. Please be very, very careful, right? Make sure that you are using a VPN. Okay, I also want to see a couple of the gaming coins. Let's just look at Illuvium. Okay, Illuvium still coming into the key supply zone over here. So that's the zone to flip at about 153. If you do get a pullback on Illuvium for the longer term, I think it's a good one. Let's see games for a living. This is one of those charts that was just going up, but now it's starting to form a range, right? So the slowdown phase, you can pick up games for a living at the bottom of this range over here. So you can see the clear range level, sweeps of the range low, like that wick over there at 0.022 are buying opportunities. How's Crown doing? This is another one that we're looking at. Okay. Not so great. Crown is coming to new lows. That one's not too pretty. ApeCoin. Let's see how's ApeCoin doing. Okay, we're still in the long. Okay, still in the long. We have hope for this coin to flip the yellow zone. If ApeCoin can flip successfully above $1.83, it opens up the possibility to move to the top side of the range. And I really think longer term, when gaming, NFTs, etc. rally, usually at the end of the cycle, ApeCoin will be probably one of the better coins to be looking at. How's 𝗏𝗏 doing? Okay, so gaming has definitely taken a massive breather. 𝗓𝗓. Okay, 𝗓𝗓 looks okay. Let's see, Super's looking good. Continuation, higher highs, higher lows. A little bit of a range that's forming over here within the yellow zone. But mostly this chart has just been up only. UOS. Okay, back below the upsloping trend or the downsloping trend line, which is added resistance. Okay, guys, smash the like button, hit the bell notification, subscribe to the channel. Let's cut off there. That's it from me. Please make sure you participate in the Win a Bitcoin competition. Also, if you want to get the gummy airdrop, remember, for that one, time's running out because we're going to do the snapshot probably early next week. So you want to have a Blowfin account for that to qualify. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.